you have historical data in your sales, right? Those sales have data appended to them, such as an address. That address can be aggregated to performance at the zip code level. You can then look at that underlying mix of qualities and community makeup in that zip code, find match markets where you may be missing. And so it depends on how we look at the data, what analysis we run, but overall we're looking for what that magic mix of suitable factors that are going to drive the highest likelihood of a sale. And then we can understand that even at the national level of, okay, location plays an extraordinarily important role in understanding all of the drivers of our sales, the sales. So first I want to call to your attention this little graphic I created, which is essentially a data point. Think of that as a customer. And what I've done is sort of split out that layers. There are enormous amounts of underlying data layer. So what I want to do is introduce you to that three-dimensional in space and time sort of concept. And this is where we're really starting to play very interestingly in marketing and advertising right now. And it can have really big dividends in terms of finding opportunity that wasn't on the table before. They move up and down at the same time, but other ones have a weird rise when others are going down. So what I want to bring the concept to is that there are leverageable and identifiable patterns, both at the broad scale, and then there are anomalies, and there are other things going on in that more fine scale. You can take the data at a national scale, you can link that up with your own sales data and create a really strong understanding of the patterns and what are the underlying community qualities that are driving your sales, right? And this is enormously powerful. I would highly suggest that you at least look at everything from a zip code scale, because that's where patterns really start to come alive and you can actually leverage them relative to your ad buy, relative to where you're doing your traditional media. We link it up to the underlying demographics, etc. We now know that some of those areas were really strong and have enough impressions, and other areas actually need impressions relative to the underlying population. So there is ability to generate opportunity in sales, and Madan would call that lift, right, in a given area. And I will let Madan speak to that because he's the expert there, but this is kind of tying that a little bit together in one use case study.
All right, so the key question, the case study is about targeting opportunity zip codes using geospatial analysis, using Facebook reach and frequency campaigns. All right, brand, you guys know Laser Away. Step one is you take all the data, that your transaction data, your sales data, granularize it at the zip code level, roll it up at the zip code level, take your first party zip level data, marry it with public data sets like the census data sets. What I've been educated by Ken is that hundreds of variables. You identify the top 10 variables that over-index and under-index for your customers. And we can see which zip codes are opportunity zip codes, which zip codes are strong. So we identified markets we want to test. We saw that. We scored all the zip codes, identified opportunity zip codes, took those opportunity zip codes, modeled a test, and figured out how much it will cost to test. And then we actually went in and executed the test. And we're now trying to read the results from the campaigns. So then this is the actual lift reads. Okay. Now, if you take all the control market, they grew between the reference period and the test periods, grew by 17%. But in the same time period, the test markets grew by 32%. So clearly they grew faster. This translates to a 28% lift in revenue across all the zips that we tested. There's a huge lift. It was driving a significant lift. And now, what does this mean for Laser Away? If you remember this particular chart that we've been looking at, we identified another potential way for them to scale in 2024, which is zip level targeting, using reach and frequency campaigns or some other campaigns or whatnot. But the idea is to use zip level identification.